I think it's important to recognize that we have to start working with this younger generation that's going to be traveling now, that will come and stay longer because a lot of them work unplugged. They're not working in brick and mortar offices anymore. They're working virtually. And they love to come and be, just like they're going to Portugal and hanging out for 2 months and working from Portugal, why not come here? Why not come to a beautiful place like Malindi and have a nice apartment and work here, meet the local people, learn how to cook the local food and do your job as well. So I'm excited to be able to be here today with the travel trade and talk about some of the new trends. And I also feel that the forward bookings are a lot closer now with that generation. They're not booking 2 years out. They decide that they want to go. Within 3 to 5 months, they're going. And they're going to tell their friends about it. They're going to Instagram. They're going to, WhatsApp. They're going to do a lot of their own advertising about the product. So I think there's a lot to offer, and hopefully we can encourage more of the suppliers to look at that younger market and perhaps not look at the fact that they are not going to stay in a luxury lodge, not because they don't want to spend the money, but because they want a more intimate experience. They want to feel that they're really in Africa. And of course, they might graduate to that very expensive lodge, but they'll stay longer and they'll spend more money. They'll buy the artifacts, they'll buy baskets from the local people, they'll buy artwork because they decorate their homes and they bring gifts back to their friends. So I certainly think there's a lot more to explore.
But today I can say that Latin America and Mexico are more and more putting Africa as in their top 5 destinations to travel to. Africa is becoming a very important honeymoon destination. So more and more honeymooners are coming to Kenya, to East Africa, a beach extension, here even to Lamu, for example, or Zanzibar. And family travel, I think, has grown a lot as well, where in the past sometimes people would think, well, it's not a destination for children or for smaller kids. Now families are traveling from the smallest one to the grandparents. They're coming to Africa. They, particularly hotels or private homes that are available are being hired outright for Christmas, New Year, for a family of, quite a numerous family members. So I would say that Latin America is definitely a very important market, and you will see in the coming years that it's becoming, that it's going to become an even more important market for Africa. And well, I'm doing my part to make sure that we get more Latin Americans coming over. My job, besides representing some of the most important companies, hotels in Africa, my job is very much about educating, about bringing Africa to the Latin American continent, to Mexico, and tell them about your beautiful continent, your beautiful country here, Kenya, where I am today. Thank you.
To grab the market, you need a holistic strategy, but at the center of it, let's say the beginning, the start point of it, that you need to use the right platform and the right tool to communicate to the market, and the center of it is the WeChat. So it's very important that you use this communication tool and also leverage the marketing power, empowered by the WeChat. So this is very, very important element. And then you obviously need to connect with the right travel trade. Who has the right audience to your products, your services, and just engage and nurture the relationship. So we found that this kind of event is very good because Chinese buyers do not necessarily have such opportunities to connect with so many, fantastic products and services and suppliers. So with everybody under one roof, it is a really good opportunity. Thank you for providing us with this chance. The general trend for the Chinese market for Africa is very positive. The interest is growing fast. As you can see, the number of the Chinese tourists arrival to African countries, in particular Kenya and your neighboring country Tanzania. As in the recent years, you see a surge of Chinese tourists. It is all sparkled by the interest for the animal sighting and or the wildlife adventures, and also the culture. Photographing or the nature, enthusiasts.
So at Essence of Africa, we have a very big focus on sustainable tourism, ecotourism, responsible traveling. It goes under a number of different terms in our industry, but it's very much a focus for us because this is what our international audience is looking for. So when we put Africa forward, East Africa in particular, we have to drive the message of sustainability, and that's really the reason for sustainable travel in Africa and how we're actually continuing on that growth journey. And we'll see during our Market Buzz sessions that we untap the market intelligence of what our different audiences are looking for. It's actually sitting up to 70% in some instances in some markets that are demanding it and expecting that we're putting forward sustainable options. So it's something that as an industry we really have to rally together to ensure that we're meeting the demand of our travelers. The idea is that you have this entire tourism chain that works together to make that happen for you. So you have a tour wholesaler or a tour operator who will package certain itineraries to sell to a travel agent. Now those people need to meet directly with the products and with the DMCs locally on the ground, who can be their ground services, and they help to put together these amazing packages that then work down the chain to be sold to the agent, to be sold to the end consumer. Sometimes that works via online travel agents as well. Sometimes it crosses over into the business MICE space, where you have people coming on incentive trips. So it's quite a dynamic, complex industry in terms of the chain and how the marketing and sales side works. And as your end user, the traveler coming into a destination, often doesn't even know all of these different elements and how the industry is packaged. But this is very much a very specialized B2B matchmaking service that we offer, bringing together leading suppliers and leading buyers. Whether you are a lodge owner in the middle of the Mara or if you are a tour operator in Munich, we're actually all dealing with the same types of challenges in the industry, the same types of opportunities. And so this ecosystem of tourism gets to come together and to build African travel together. And that is the only way that we really can develop as an industry, is when we all come together and work together. So we really hope that our little role here, can contribute immensely to the impact that we have on this region.
We are trying to make sure that the buyers, the international travel agents, the wholesalers, have capacity and have a range of accommodation options to choose for their clients. At the same time, this is an opportunity for lodges, DMCs, transport providers to connect with these international wholesalers, because they too want to benefit from having customers visit their lodges and use their services. And this is what the opportunity is with ATA. It's connecting these two together beyond these live events such as Essence. The idea is to continue the relationship online, hence our network and our community is online based, so that you establish a relationship with a wholesaler, with a tour operator at an event like this, and you continue the relationship on a platform where you get regular updates. If a lodge in Malindi, for example, is opening 5 new rooms, they're able to use our network to communicate this to the wider network. And this is the opportunity that these events brings. You know, when you visit a place, it's not just about sitting on the beach. The beauty of Africa is there's so much to learn from. There's so much to unearth. And you only get that from talking to people on the ground. And we really want these young, up-and-coming tour guides to come up. And so this is one of the areas. Can the government facilitate more talent that comes through, that we're able to showcase South Africa really in a positive light? Really, sustainability is very much embedded in a lot of what we do in Africa anyway. You know, a lot of the community involvement is something that I know many of our members and the products and the hotels are practicing. And it is really just ensuring that the tourism that we're enjoying today and the experiences that we're enjoying today, the wild animals that we have today, can also be enjoyed by future generations. And it's really about responsible ways of behaving and of conducting business, so that there's conservation of our animals, but that there's conservation of our cultures, and that we all get to enjoy tourism, not just today, but for future generations. Exactly. And it really does boil down to what Jackie said, and encouraging our members to behave responsibly in a way that makes sure that that happens on the ground.
This particular event is going to inject about 55 million Kenya shillings in this particular town. And that's going by the business travel insights on how much a business traveler spends on a trip, which is about, in Kenya shillings, 110,000 Kenya shillings. Now with about 500 or more than 500 participants here in Malindi, not even counting the multiply effect from Mama Mboga, from the religious tourism, from cultural tourism, from adventure tourism, and transport. I mean, the money that is going to be left here is actually going to have a very big effect on the people and the community. And again, the interaction here is basically a marriage of cultures. So we don't even have to go to the villages, because everything that is happening here in this particular time is actually packed quite highly with different products of tourism that Kenya has.